Hello everyone. Uh, my name is Remy Yusuf here, and I'm a PhD student, computer science, Salford, University of Salford, right in the UK. Today I want to make a short video about the difference between API and SDK. I was having a conversation with one of my junior colleagues, and I found out that what is the difference between an API and an SDK? For a start, an API stands for Application Program Interface, and it can be considered as a bridge between two systems, between two applications or two software. For instance, think of a banking app where on each transaction the customer receives a text message on the registered phone number of the account. Now, as a developer, you may not need to develop a web service that sends text message to mobile phone numbers anymore, and also the telecom network provider must have had that already developed. That's where the place of an API come. So as the app developer developing a fintech app, I just need to use the API that is being provided by the telecom service provider, and in their documentation they will list the variables the parameters I need to pass, and the kind of value. In this case, maybe a phone number, the text message, the name of the and the name of the sender. That is what API is, and that's what API is used for. It's like a bridge, a connector between two softwares, between two applications, and also it helps in abstraction. Still talking about this example of a fintech app. Now, as the developer of the fintech app, I don't need to know about the technicalities of sending a text message across a mobile network to a phone. The API abstracts all those functionality for me. I just need to send the appropriate parameters and their appropriate value. Now, with that being said, what is an SDK? An SDK stands for Software Development Kit, and for simpler understanding, an SDK is just a collection of functionalities. Usually, SDKs have more than one or two APIs in them, so it's an abstraction on top of another abstraction. Now, imagine it. This is the basic code functions and the classes, their method and everything. Above it is an API. Now you could have another class, method, function, everything, another API. Now these two API. Above these two API, you will have a SDK, Software Development Kit, that makes these two API available in one library. That is the major difference of an SDK. So an SDK can contain classes, method, functions, and you can call more than one API within a SDK. And again, one of the advantages of the API is that it's standardized by the regulatory bodies, and it has standard security features. So you have little or nothing to think about. There are a lot of abstraction that has been established for you. You just need to think of your own portion and implement. I guess this explains the difference between an API and the SDK. Subscribe if you haven't.